Hey everybody, in today's video I'm going to be taking this empty Altoids tin, putting some cut up jean material in it, cooking it in a fire until it turns into a charcoal-like material, jumping a spark on it, and lighting a fire like in the olden days before matches were invented. Follow along. Alright, so char cloth was a really neat invention that came about in the 1500s and was a complement to the flint and steel method and would grab a spark and create an ember on the cloth that was a slow burn, but a really high heat, and made it a lot easier for your collection of tinder to catch on fire. I just want to go through the process today and recreate what it would be like to make and use this method. The most popular tin for making char cloth is the Altoids tin right now, mainly because nobody makes old school tins like this anymore for candies. You have the choice of either eating all the mints out of this beforehand or dump them in a Ziploc sandwich bag and still enjoy them over time. Next, we are going to take an 1/8 inch drill bit or anything around that size and drill anywhere on the lid or side of the can. This is going to let flammable gas out of the tin from the jean material breaking down to a pure carbon form. Alright, now I'm going to add some 100% cotton jean material that I cut to size of the tin. As you see, this is what I was cutting from, and I have a lot of material here to make more. So let's get it in the tin, close the lid, and get it on the fire. Now for the fire, I want to keep it old school and use this fresh 3-can hobo rocket stove to cook the char cloth in. So watch as I put this masterpiece together. This piece I'm struggling with here is the key ingredient to the rocket stove. It is the diverter between the fuel and the air. The wood is fed up in the top and the bottom stays clear and open to draft air up into the fire and make the intense heat that comes out of a rocket stove. The fire is lit and things are heating up. Watch that hole that I drilled in the Altoids tin. It is super important on the whole process because as gas comes out of it, there will be a flame coming off the size of what a lighter would produce. And once that flame goes out, you know the jean material has turned to carbon because no more flammable gas is being produced anymore. So the placement of that hole is kind of important as well, so you can visually see it while you're cooking it. So if you dropped it in a big fire or had it on some hot coals, the best placement of the hole might be the top of the lid so you can get a good visual on it. Alright, the flame went out and I had this cooking for about 20 minutes on the rocket stove, but I'm going to leave it on there as long as I can so it can cook good because the heat was kind of inconsistent as I was feeding the sticks in it. Alright, the fire has died down even more and I just want to take a peek at the char cloth to make sure it's finished. Okay, now that was just a nightmare right there. I'm going to pretend that never happened. Oh look, I think one of them actually started on fire. That's a good sign, I guess. So now I'm going to let them properly cool down and then test it with a spark from a ferro rod. The char cloth isn't 100% black, so I think it's a bit undercooked, but I'm still going to give it a try and see how it does. Looks like it's passed the test and is working just fine. Now I'm going to give it a real world test and see if I can get it to light a bird's nest on fire. I made my bird's nest out of dried up grass clippings, and I think it might not be as dry as I thought they were. I was a little confused because it seemed like the ember was dying out, but yet I could feel there was some intense heat coming out of the bird's nest yet. So I tried opening it up a bit to let more air in, and that seemed to do the trick. Success. That's such a good feeling. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to keep the fire going, please watch this next video.